want to find the length and width of this rectangle for starts. I'm going to call this side the length and this side up there the width, labeling them with L's and W's. So the length is going to equal the distance from A to B, and rather than doing the distance formula, I notice that I have a right triangle here with two sides of 3. So I know that 3 squared plus 3 squared makes c squared, and I'm going to say that if I square root the sum of the squares, I'll have the hypotenuse there, which will be 3 root 2. Likewise, I see another triangle which will help me identify the width W. Notice this triangle. I'll color this triangle in red up there to make it more visible. The width is going to equal the distance from B to C, and I probably should have labeled what A, B, and C are. I had A, B, C, and D labeled on my practice notes there that I forgot to bring over there, and I think that will help you. The distance from B to C, similarly, is going to be the square root of 2 squared plus 2 squared, which will be 2 root 2. So in part A of the problem, they want you to determine the length and width, which we've already found. The length is 3 root 2, and the width is equal to 2 root 2. In part B, they want us to find the perimeter and the area. Well, you know that the perimeter is 2 lengths plus 2 widths for a rectangle, so that will be 2 times your 3 root 2 plus 2 times your 2 root 2. And I think we can do this one in our head. 6 root 2 plus 4 root 2 is going to equal 10 root 2 units for the perimeter. Now for the area, which is equal to length times width, this is going to equal 3 root 2 times the 2 root 2, which will be 6 root 4, which is 6 times 2, which gives us 12 square units, which I'll write as units squared. The midpoint of a diameter is the center of a circle. Now we can eyeball this on our picture, or we can use the midpoint formula here and say the center will be halfway between the x values of -2 and 4. So -2 plus 4, add them up and divide by 2. Then for the y values, we have 1 and 3. Add them up and divide by 2. And find that the center is located at 1, 2. Okay, so there's our center. Now it says find the radius. Well, the radius is going to equal 1/2 the diameter, correct? I guess that was rhetorical. You can't answer back through the screen here. But this is going to be 1/2 the diameter. And the diameter is just a distance using the distance formula. Or, again, I can deal with a triangle here and say we're going from -2 to 4. That is a base of 6. And from a height of 1 up to a height of 3, that gives me a 2. Okay, let's see what I've got here. 1/2 the square root of 6 squared plus 2 squared. That becomes 1/2 the square root of 40, which is 1/2. Now this 40 is a 4 times 10, which comes out as a 2 root 10. And so 2 times the 1/2, those cancel out. And it turns out that our radius is equal to the square root of 10.